Welcome to Sports Check Planet Earth. I'm Seth Hagen, and it seems I've taken over your computer.
So, what are you going to do about that?
They could pause it.
My only weakness.
Now, if there's one team with no weaknesses, it sure seemed like Kentucky last week. But Seth, Baylor's women's basketball team just went 40-0. Another underwhelming college basketball season comes to a close. Even Final Four MVP Anthony Davis couldn't muster 10 points in what will probably be his last college game. He didn't even score until 5 minutes to go in the game, and that was his only basket. Still, the Rouse upside is tremendous. He filled the stat sheet in just about every other category, but the NBA is not kind if you can't score, and I would hate to see a kid this talented pull a Greg Oden. The fact of the matter is, after finally proving that you can win with a team filled with one-and-done freshmen, John Calipari probably just gave college basketball its death sentence. And if you think that's ridiculous, I have not yet begun to ridicule. Joe Flacco was drafted by the Baltimore Ravens in 2008 and became an immediate starter after injuries to Kyle Bowler and Troy Smith in the offseason. Personally, I've never bought into Flacco, or any other Ravens QB for that matter. Dating back to their only Super Bowl victory in 2000, it was a punishing Ravens D and the running of Jamal Lewis that secured the title for Baltimore. And not much has changed. Even Trent Dilfer will admit that Ray Lewis got him his analyst job at ESPN. So you'll excuse me if comments by Flacco made last week had me lolling into a full-fledged ruffle.
What do you expect me to say? Asked Flacco. I don't think I'm top 5, I think I'm the best. I don't think I'd be very successful at my job if I didn't feel that way.
Hey, I'm all for a healthy sense of self-worth, but come on, Joe. I mean, come on.
Well, we don't believe you. You need more people.
My thoughts exactly, Jigga Man. You see, according to his quarterback rating, Mr. Flacco is actually somewhere between 15th and 18th in the NFL. And not to mention his 2010 season was way better than last year's campaign. The truth is, Joe's rookie contract is up, and he's campaigning to be re-signed by one of the few teams in the league that can still make him look like a premier QB. And in a league where we just saw Peyton Manning get passed up for the next big thing, maybe you should worry about other things, Joe. Like your don't blow it skills. Maybe Trent Dilfer could finally be of service again. Oh, I'm not done yet. More ridiculousness ensued last week when Orlando Magic coach Stan Van Gundy informed the media that franchise center Dwight Howard wants him fired. Oh, Stan, you always know how to screw yourself out of a job. No, honestly, I feel bad for the guy. He was cheated out of a championship with the Heat in 2005 by Pat Riley, and now he's being held hostage by a team that's relinquished all power to the most fickle player in the league. But why take my word for it? What follows is one of the most awkward interviews of all time. Enjoy.
And how do you know it's true?
I was told it was true by people in our management. So, you know, right from the top. So.
What did management tell you? Are they going to stand behind?
They haven't told me anything, and they don't need to. I mean, I'm the coach right now, and, you know, I'm the coach until they decide I'm not the coach. I said this before. I mean, I don't care about that stuff. If they want to, you know, it's 12:02 right now. If they want to fire me at 12:05, I'll go home and find something to do. I'll have a good day. I'm not worried about that at all. I mean, I'll bet in this group that we have at least one person here who has an issue with their boss and doesn't maybe like him. Maybe one person in this group, and still works very hard and does a very good job. I mean, come on. But I ain't worried about that. So.
Excuse me. Yeah, Stan, we're not worried about that, right?
That's what I just said. We got to be worried about winning games.
Yeah, what's our main concern right now? Jameer.
We have to stop Carmelo Anthony and the New York Knicks tonight.
And the New York Knicks.
That's exactly
That's
right.
the plan, right?
That is the plan. That's what I just said.
neither.
Are you guys done with me?
Yeah.
That's all.
You can talk to him now.
All right.
It's nothing. I haven't said anything to anybody about anything.
Wow. Bottom line, a team and a franchise that doesn't respect its head coach is never going to be successful. Period. And that was never more apparent than in last week's 5-game losing streak. The Magic also lost 7 out of 10 overall. Sadly, this is reminiscent of the LeBron James saga in Cleveland, as ownership began to cater to the superstars' every whim. But that ended well, right? Okay, one more. Bobby Petrino'd has always been a good football coach, but he hasn't been able to break through to that great category, and sometimes that can mess with a man's ego. Mistakes can be made. Just ask Joe Flacco. Now, Joe's still 27, while Petrino'd at 51 can't really hang out in the young and dumb section anymore. So, after leaving Louisville and the Atlanta Falcons under the cover of night, it shouldn't really surprise us that he's back to his past shady behavior. Bobby's an avid motorcyclist, but apparently the years are catching up to his skills because he wrecked his bike last Sunday about 20 miles outside of Fayetteville. When addressing the media about the accident on Tuesday, Petrino'd said he was the only one injured because he said he was the only one riding. But he wasn't. He had a passenger, 25-year-old Jessica Durrell, a former volleyball player for the university and the current head of football recruitment relations for Petrino'd's team. There's nothing wrong with that. She's Bobby's employee and he just wanted to show her this really cool bike trail. Actually, Mr. Petrino has acknowledged that their relationship was inappropriate and the university placed him on paid leave based on his dishonesty. Is it ironic that only rich people get placed on paid leave? Anyway, so what happens to old Bobby Boucher now? What could happen? What should happen? Bruce Pearl was fired at Tennessee for lying about having an underage recruit to his house for a cookout. Do I have to say it? The guy should be canned on stupidity alone. Ms. Durrell played volleyball at Arkansas for 4 years, and she's still there at 25. What you still doing there, girl? She's basically my age, and you won't find me on the back roads of Tennessee on Pat Summitt's road, warrior. Like I said before, being good but not great can really mess with a guy, and develop all kinds of midlife crises and such. Am I judging Petrino? No. Way more powerful men have been brought down for similar indiscretions. But I'm also a big fan of not messing up a good thing. And at $3.5 million a year, Bobby Petrino seems to be making a career out of ruining his own. And that's the show for this week. Leave me a comment below the video on Facebook or YouTube and let me know what you think. But until we meet again, I'm Seth Hagen, and this has been your Sports Check. Later.
Riding down the highway of girls on my bike, man, I never felt so alive. Screaming pig suey at the top of our lungs, man, I never had this much fun. But then she reached around and put her hand on my thigh. I was in heaven and I closed my eyes. Next thing I knew, I wound up in a ditch. Oh man, I should have never messed with this girl in the athletic department in the volleyball shorts. Girl in the athletic department in the volleyball shorts.